Well, I mean, to be fair, some of you should be leaving the country pretty soon. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are here to start our journey with Escaflowne, I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll hear it in the show said, and then mishear it, and then not say it right for the first 15 episodes until it hits YouTube, and then somebody will say, that's not the way you say that, and I'll say, it's too late, I've been saying it for 15 episodes now. Like, Sakuna in, Jujutsu Kaisen, or Sukuna, or whatever. Just my inability to pronounce stuff. We recently finished Magic Knight Rayearth, and we had a poll, run a long time ago, called the Fail Fisher Rundown, which is where we took a bunch of Fail Fishers, anime recommendations, we put them into a poll, let the audience vote on which one they would prefer to see, and Visions of Escaflowne is the one that won the poll. So here we are, ready to start our journey into whatever this turns out to be. Again, I don't really know. I believe it's an isekai, kind of in the same vein as Magic Knight Rayearth. Girl gets taken from Earth to somewhere else. Here's the thing. My talented artist that I hire all the time, 9, made the overlay for me, and I gave them as blind directions as I possibly could. They looked into the show, and they figured out what made sense. The only way in I had was trying to direct what character would probably best fit me. Because, I'm generally of a type. And whoever this is apparently that type for this show. But other than that, I am essentially blind. I'm looking at the same frame one thing that you're probably seeing down here, unless I put something over that when I edit this later. So I guess, really, I got nothing else to say. I'm going to keep saying I guess and then say something blatantly either wrong or just of no use to anybody. So I guess let's go ahead and jump on in and see what we're getting into.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, so we're starting with an opening. I would almost think this is, I don't know what studio I'm thinking of that has faces that look like that. Also, again, I gotta talk over everything, which makes the first contact with the openings very difficult. Okay, so there's angels in this world. That's good to know. Something about this face reminds me... Okay, Tiger Girl. That's a thing, too. I was about to say, what's his name from Nadia? Almost reminds me of that, but a bunch of these other faces are way too elongated, and almost jagged for that to fit. Oh, there's my Blue Eyes White Dragon. Glad you found it for me. Thank you. I don't know. I'm gonna have to hear what they sound like. Did we just go to heaven? What? Sorry, for those of you who don't know what happened, we just had to go back for like a couple of minutes, because as it turns out, the English subtitles don't exist, but the Japanese subtitles are in English on my copy. So, just went through a whole bit of confusion there. So she's on the track team. Or a soccer team? No, I think it was right, track team. This was like the track team. It makes sense. You're not fast enough to make it to the track meet on time. You're not fast enough for the track team. Object to rule? At least opposed to Magic Knight Rayearth, they're establishing that Hitomi here has a reason to want to go back. I guess technically Umi had a reason to go back. She had a fencing tournament next week. Literally, your shorts look like the same as the boy you're ogling. Yeah, okay, they weren't even underwear. Just like, I don't know if she was like wearing granny shorts or something. Now, is your best friend hitting on the guy you're interested in, or is she telling on you? Did you just track your way into another world? I mean, that's different. Although I guess it's not different because it might be just be magical summoned. That's different. Sounds like the Gundam Wings Gundams. Your Whitebeard to do him. It's pretty cool to get like a primer on the world when you get isekai to it. Instead of knowing nothing and having to ask questions all the time. Oh, not even isekai. Like a daydream.
神崎はフォームも綺麗になってきた。中学から熱心に練習した成果だよ。
そんな、私なんかまだ13秒も切れなくて。
So much better than me,
天野先輩みたい
even
に
when
してた
I
らいい
was
なって。
athletic. Not that I have been in a very long
スター
time.
トの時の踏み切りかな。
え？
勇気を出して思い切り前へ飛び出すんだ。
勇気を出して。
そうだ。お、綺麗なペンダントだね。
あ、これですか？お守りなんです。おばあちゃんの形見の。面白いんですよ。こうやって揺らすと振り子時計みたいに1秒で1回いつまでも揺れてるんです。
へ
I mean, that is pretty
え。ち
interesting.
ょっと貸してみて。
1、
2、
Are they both gonna get sucked into the other world?
4、5、6、7、
8、
8、
9、
10、
10、
11、12、
13、
13。
14、15、16、
神崎。
17。
実はな。俺は
I legit thought something was gonna be up to no good, or there's always the guy interest that you have a crush on in these kind of shows who turns out to be worse than you thought he was. Thought that was about to happen.
鎌倉屋のチーズケーキ、湘南本舗のどら焼き、ジェラートクラシックのペパーミントアイス、それに日替わりデザー
That's a
ト
lot.
ってとこで見逃してやるよ。
もうわざと倒れたんじゃないってば。
どうだか、私が邪魔しなきゃ先輩とどうにかなってたなんて考えてんじゃないの？
ぶつよ。
ひとみ？先輩とのこと占ったことないの？
ないよ。
どうして？
だって
Like what?
もし
Tarot?
ダメって言っちゃったら
Tarot? Or
好きなら。
どうしたのよゆかり。
ひとみ、私聞いちゃったの、先輩たちの話。先輩、天野先輩、外国へ行っちゃうかもしれないって。県大会にも出られないかもしれないって。
well, I mean, to be fair,
ひとみの気持ちは分かってる。
some of you should be leaving the country pretty soon.
後悔するから。言わないと後悔しちゃうから。
ひとみちゃん、お風呂沸いたわよ。
I'm in fact very surprised the isekaiing bit hasn't happened yet. Yeah, okay, it is tarot. I should have thought that from the very beginning. The very first
そんな。
episode name was in front of a tarot card.
外国へ行っちゃう。もう会えない。サーペントのエース勇気。
県大会にみんなと共に出場できないのは残念だが、君たちならきっといい結果を残してくれるはずだ。向こうでいい知らせを待っている。
天野さん、向こうに着いたら手紙くださいね。
あ、
俺たちのこと忘れないでくださいね。
あ、天野先輩。
先輩、
先輩。
Leaving the country for where, though? Like, I super suspect that he might have been from the isekai world when he was interested in her little pendant. It's like, no, don't give it to him. Maybe he's like a bad guy from the
先輩。
other world. I was wrong. I'm not good at
お願い
guessing
があ
this.
るんです。もし私がこのペンダントが13回揺れる間に100メートル走れたら、13秒の壁を破れたら、私のファーストキスお願いします。
後悔するなよ。
Is she gonna run her way into the isekai world? I didn't know what was happening there. Like, is the isekai gonna ruin this moment for them?
準備はいいか。
よろしくお願いします。ゆかり、
Because it feels all set up to be like the perfect moment between these two. And I feel like that cannot happen
勇気を出して
in this show.
思い切り前へ飛び出すんだ。よーい、
Oh, it's weird that we're getting internal monologue from this guy if he's not going to show up anymore.
GO!
So what, we're in 5 now? She's like the DeLorean of track runners. Once this baby gets up to 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some wild shit. Rude.
誰だ貴様。どこだここは。神崎。
大丈夫、ひとみ。ひとみ、あの子。あの子、夢で見た男の子。
I mean, this is wholly unexpected. I didn't think he would come here.
限界ディアボ。
違うわ。私たち魔界の住人なんかじゃない。ひとみ、あなたこそ誰なの？
ファーネリアのバーンだ。ここは。
何？
ひとみ、この子の言っていることがわかるの？
え？
It's an interesting twist, too.
来るな。奴も。娘、逃げろ。シリュウが来る。
竜？
早く行け。竜に食い殺されたいのか。おい、君。
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I like the captain guy, but I don't think he's going to stand up to a guy with a sword who's been obviously fighting dragons.
今度は何よ。ひとみ？気持ち悪い。吐きそう。
来た。
Are all 3 of them going to go? Sort of a Lana dragon.
何なんだあれは。
ひとみ。
こっちだ。貴様の相手は俺だ。どうした。腹が減ってんだろ。俺を食いに来い。
I mean, whole new world here. That's pretty neat. Kind of reminds me of the Tower of Draga Shield. Now more like it's half blind. You might be dead though. Dragon's got green blood, Van's got red blood.
手の上の獲物は後で撃ってわけか。逃げろ娘。早く逃げるんだ。
はい、天野先輩、やばい。
Right, let's head for the mountain. Quite literally, let's head for the hills.
早く。
ゆかり、いた。
足をひねったが背中につかまれ。
Seriously, did not expect this. I really enjoy the aspect of them coming here. Oh, Shinto Shrine? Is Van like a dragon slayer? Because he seems to have a lot of specialized gear specifically for this.
ここまで来れば
What does that do to the fact that apparently a dragon killed his father? I understand his body smoking. I don't understand how his face and hair got away from that unscathed.
鱗にはこの剣じゃ歯が立たん大丈夫なのか彼は
Oh, she has foresight. She's a tarot reader, so I guess that was our allusion to that.
神崎神崎
I was gonna joke and say he's gonna stab him in the butthole, but he basically just did. And again. Well, that was his chest, but I mean, he spliced him down from his butthole down. Oh, like a Super Metroid villain.
大丈夫ですか？
女に心配してもらうほどではない。礼が欲しいのか？それなら城へ来い。しかし図に乗るなよ。褒美はお前たちを流体時に巻き込んだ詫びだ。お前の
Yeah, is that giant portal back on the track still there for you to actually get back?
何よ偉そうに。あんたが死んじゃうと思ったから。死んじゃうと思ったから。だから私怖かったんだから。とっても怖かったんだから。ありがとうの一言ぐらい言いなさいよ。あんたなんか助けなきゃよかった。あのまま竜に食べられちゃえばよかったのよ。
Well, at least the characters act in a way that make them change how they react to one another. Well, you could take a step. Step into the beam. Be taken with them. Oh, never mind. In fairness, you were in the beam. It just didn't take you. Man, what a double whammy. Sad because the guy you fell in love with is going to move away, and then being taken away from that guy on the last night of him being here. No, it's the overlay.
どうして地球が見えるの？
ここはアーザスの村の近くだ。
アーザス？
I wonder if people in this world are going to be able to understand her. Like, did she get like universal communication?
遠い別れとサーペントのエース。本当の意味が今分かった。
Oh, that was the Tower of Babel.
空に月と
Communication with
地球が
everybody.
浮かぶ不思議の世界ガイア。それがこの星の名前。
So I could see the when I take notes about this, because obviously I'm going to take notes like I do with every show. It's going to be an element that I'm going to have to pay more attention to the cards that are flying by. Because one of those cards was clearly the Tower of Babel, which is, all languages on Earth being combined into one, which goes to... So are we going to come back to Earth at some point? Because how's that happen? Okay. All languages combined into one, that seems to be allowing her to communicate with everybody. But it was also... Come on, girl, pick one. Pick one. Anyway. Was also struck down by God for man's hubris. Because it was, a tower built too tall to reach into the heavens. But it didn't particularly pick out any of the other cards that were at play. Other than obviously the serpent, and then we got a dragon. Separation. Geoble separation happened.
Escaflowne.
よし、コンジャの通りだ。動かせる。
これがエスカフローネ。
So, Earth is a mystic moon of Gaia, is what I'm getting. Which is weird, because you can see the Earth in the sky, but you can also see Earth's moon. So, is it Earth rotates around Gaia, and the moon rotates around the Earth? Or is Gaia a moon of Earth? Well, it can't be, because it says from the mystic moon. Which I guess it implies that this place is also invisible? So, I don't know. Anyway, I really like this. This was a good episode. It had certainly the makings, I thought, of becoming Magic Knight Rayearth. That's what I was kind of anticipating. But it circumvented that by focusing on the human element, or I shouldn't say the human element, the Earth element more to establish who the characters are, even though 2 of those characters don't matter anymore. I think. Because the element of the end credits seems to show her kissing that guy, which she didn't do yet. So she must go back. So maybe there's an element that she keeps going back and forth from Earth and Gaia, which would be super interesting. I think the only thing, and this just an observation, the only thing that would make it more interesting to me would have been if this dude had come from a different world, and then they both got sent to another world. And I know that's just like, maybe I'm just making up a different anime, because I get enough regular isekai as it is. It's just something about this reminded me heavily of, I think it's either a New Zealand or an Australian kids show, live action, called Spellbinders, where a guy walks through like a hole in reality and finds himself in another world. Basically like the medieval version of our own, where the higher caste wears electric suits, essentially, that allows them to throw energy bolts. Like, it works on normal science. It's just that's the highest science, electromagnetism. Like, they have floating vehicles and whatnot too, but it's only for the high society. Everyone else is Middle Ages. There was a second season of that show where a spellbinder and that kid then get sent to a third new dimension where they everyone has to deal with the fact that nobody is in their home reality anymore. And I find that to be an interesting conceit. So when this guy seems to get sent to Earth, and he's out of his reality, that's pretty cool. You don't get to see the isekai where somebody gets isekai'd to Earth. And then they both get isekai'd to apparently his world, in which case I guess he's getting returned to his world. She's getting isekai'd to it. So I don't know, I just kind of had that hope. But I guess since we've seen through her eyes, and I guess a dream while she was recovering from fainting, what his world is kind of like, that we're not going to go into this completely blind. Like, my expectation is that we just got sent to that place that's next to the village of Azris, I think he said. And all those, like, growling animals that started standing up are actually going to be friendly, and it's like a misconception. Just show you that, oh, not everything here is what it seems, that sort of thing. Other than that, obviously, they're going to introduce us to the giant magical mecha, I guess, next episode. So we have that to look forward to. I am pleasantly surprised by this. I will say anybody who remembers Rafferty, I've done a number of anime movie reactions with him. Also, he's a former GM on the channel back when we did tabletop RPGs. He had some negative stuff to say about Visions of Escaflowne before he ever even knew that we were going to react to it. So, yeah, I went into this with the negative expectations that they put upon me. So, this was not bad at all. I will say the one real negative trait I'll put out there, not a big fan of the faces, because they have this thing where they make all the women's faces look kind of mannish, and then the men's faces are exactly the same. It's really their voices that I'm working on here. So, kind of like Clamp, where I don't like the exaggerated giant eye, small mouth thing. Something about this just doesn't sit right with me. But I can get over it, You watch a show for long enough, it becomes normal. And I think this will normalize for me pretty well. Other than that, though, I'll do the normal thing where I'll probably make a board. I'll come back with the notes about observations I had in a second viewing of the episode that I do by myself. And then we'll come back with episode 2 and see where we go on from there. So, once again, I've been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?